Hello to everyone, my name is Sayliyeva and Raxmiddinovna. Today we will discuss about lesson planning, the importance of lesson planning for conducting our lesson. First of all, we should know what is lesson planning itself. A teacher's detailed description of the course of instruction for an individual lesson. A lesson plan is a written guide for trainers' plans in order to achieve the intended learning outcomes. It provides specific definition and direction on learning objectives, equipment, instructional media material requirements, and conduct of the training. So, why is lesson planning important? It forces us to think through what we want the students to learn. It forces us to think through how we will teach it. It allows us to decide in advance what equipment, supplies, and materials we will need to assemble for the class. It provides structure for both teacher and students. It increases likelihood that the learning will occur. Lesson plan benefits that teachers get from their teaching plan. The first one is to make the teacher aware of the aims and language contents of the lesson. Second one is to help the teacher distinguish the various stages of a lesson and to see the relationship between them so that the lesson can move smoothly from one stage to another. Third one is proper lesson planning gives the teacher opportunity to anticipate potential problems that may arise in class so that they can be prepared with some possible solutions or other options for the lesson. And the last one is lesson planning gives teachers, especially novice teachers, confidence in class. So next one, what did you take into account when you design a lesson plan? The first one is objectives set out to be achieved. Second one is prior knowledge of the learners. The third one is materials and didactic auxiliaries to be used. And the fourth one, tasks and activities to select and group, it says grouping patterns. And the first one is interaction modes. And the last one is timing and time management. Okay, good lesson plans. Good lesson plans is based on four things: interests and abilities of students, your own interests and strengths, your beliefs about teaching and learning, and the last one is your own openness to change your plan. Parts of the lesson plan. There are 5 parts of detailed and semi-detailed lesson plans. The first one is objectives, second one subject matter, third one procedure, the fourth one is evaluation or assessment, grade, and the last one is assignment. So next one, what is objective? The first thing a teacher does is create an objective, a statement of purpose for the whole lesson. An objective statement itself should answer what students will be able to do by the end of the lesson. The objective derives the whole lesson. It is the reason the lesson exists. Care is taken when creating the objective for each day's lesson, as it will determine the activities the students engage in. What is subject matter? So, subject matter includes the following things: topic, particular lesson, references, usually from the book and internet websites, And materials, they refer to the objects or tools that serve as instructional aids for a particular subject. Steps involved in lesson planning, Herbatian steps. The first one, preparation or introduction. Second one is presentation. Third one is compression or association. The fourth one is generalization. And the fifth one is application. And the last one is recapitulation. So what is preparation? The teacher must be prepared the students to receive new knowledge. Knowledge is to be linked with the previous knowledge of the students. Preparation, in fact, means the exploration of the people's knowledge, which leads to the aim of the lesson. Teacher skills lie in the leading the people to see that their knowledge is incomplete and that to concur lies before them. Presentation. So, before the presentation of the subject matter, the aim of the lesson should be clearly stated. By this, teacher as well as the students are engaged upon a common pursuit. So, third one is comparison or association. Some examples are given to the students and they are asked to observe carefully and compare them with other set of the examples and facts. This step is important where some definition or some generalization is to be induced from the students. Generalization. In this step, the aim of the lesson is achieved. This step involves reflective thinking because the whole knowledge learned in preparation is to be systemized, which leads to generalization, formulae or rules, and etc. through comparison or association. This step completes the inquiry by providing the answer to the problem with which it began. Thus, the students get a new knowledge which is ready for me. Fifth step, application. At this stage, the students make use of the acquired knowledge in familiar and unfamiliar situations. In this way, the new knowledge gained by the pupils will become permanent in the mind of the students and will not fade from consciousness soon. Sixth one is recapitulation. This is the last step. The understanding and comprehension of the subject matter taught by teacher can be tested by putting some suitable questions on the topic to the students. This will also help the teacher to find out whether his methods of teaching is effective and successful or not. So let's talk about types of lesson planning. There are several types of lesson planning the following. The first one is detailed lesson planning. Second one is semi-detailed lesson plan. And the last one, understanding by design or UBD. Detailed lesson plan. The detailed lesson plan has 5 parts. Objectives, subject matter, it means it will be topic, reference, materials, and the third part is procedure, motivation, activity, routines, lesson program. And the last one is evaluation and assignment. Everything is written down like a script of a play, It contains what the teacher does and say and what the students are expected to say and do. Semi-detailed lesson plan. Semi-detailed lesson plan has all the components of detailed lesson plan, but does not include a complete description of people's activity. It contains the important subject matter and the description of teaching, learning activities. Understanding by design. Jane McTighe describes UBD, it means understanding by design, as a framework for curriculum planning, assessment by designing, and ultimately for teaching with the goal of understanding and transfer. Grant Wiggins emphasizes that UBD is not philosophy and not an approach to teaching but planning framework. So that is all information about today. We will what we want to share with us. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye. See you soon.